The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Today, get ready to confer on the chaos as Amber and Scott discuss Doing It. Here, sex education gets a makeover and a meltdown. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. And why do I start singing at this sort of episodes now? This can't be a thing.
It's a thing.
It can't be a thing.
It's a thing.
No.
All right. So I know before we saw this movie, you said, we're seeing a movie called Doing It? Doing it? What? Why are you looking at me like
Doing
that?
it in one of them days.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, we're seeing a movie called Doing It. Maya, a 30-year-old Indian American virgin and app developer, takes a job as a high school substitute teacher only to be awkwardly assigned to teach sex ed. Dun, dun, dun.
What?
So this film was so fun, and it literally had 2,739 what would you do's in it.
Like, I'll say this. The movie itself was a classic case of something that was very entertaining and very terrible.
What do you mean?
Like, it was, listen, okay, it was corny. The lines were dumb. Like, this thing's by no means a masterpiece, but it made you laugh. And so it did its job in that way. I mean,
I thought it was way funnier than some of the other comedies we've seen lately.
I mean, okay, listen, I can't believe I'm the one that's saying this, but it was basically going for the lowbrow humor.
I didn't think so because I don't like lowbrow humor. I don't like.
Well, apparently you do because there was a lot of it there.
But you know, the thing about lowbrow humor is usually there's a bro comedy about two guys who are accountants, and then they throw in some crude humor. This movie was about sex and a virgin who's teaching sex ed and has sexual hangups because of something that happened to her when she was a young kid. So therefore, any lowbrow humor is actually in keeping with the theme of the film.
I was fine with once, but they showed the monster cock at least twice, or if not three times.
That was a shocker.
They didn't need to keep going. They didn't need to keep going back to it.
They did because it was so horrifying. Anyway, so there is a lot to dig into here.
You got to so Leo Moon fry that thing.
What does that mean?
You know, Leo Moon.
Yeah, I know. Punky Brewster.
Yeah, and she had a breast reduction.
Oh.
He needs.
I thought we had to create a documentary on it.
He's got to find a way of getting.
Does.
He's got to find a way of getting some of the meat out of the sausage.
Wow. Okay. All right. I guess you're bringing the lowbrow humor. So
I always bring the lowbrow humor.
That's true. I'm sorry, folks. So in a nutshell, I can tell you what the film was about here. But there was so much happening in this 1 hour and 32 minutes. Yeah. So this film was, the screenplay was by Lily Singh, one of amongst other people. She was also a producer, and she also starred in it. So this was definitely a vehicle for Lily Singh. And it was amusing all the way down to the closing credits where they did a song, and she's actually pointing out things in the credit in the song. I just really enjoyed this movie.
The copyright's a freak.
Yeah, it was just fun. And I'm not a lowbrow humor, but it was fun.
So it wasn't a good movie, but it was a fun movie. Like, I enjoyed it.
Well, yeah, it's not winning an Oscar. It's called Doing It. Doing it. So, in short, when Lily is, I don't know, maybe a young teen, 14, 15? 13? Okay.
She said she spent the first 13 years in the U.S.
Okay. So, anyway, she and some friends are waiting to go on stage to do a dance number. And one of the guys who's doing the dance number with her kind of does this show me your boobs and I'll show you my penis thing.
Which is what one always does before they go on stage.
And this is how he started. And he gets so excited that he immediately ejaculates and it goes into her face. We should have some sort of warning on this film.
Oh yeah. So this film or this whatever, just market it as explicit and move on.
Yeah, pretty much. There's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
talk here.
In turn, mark this episode as explicit or
Yes.
remind me to do so.
Yes. So she gets squirted in the face, which in itself is like, oh my gosh. And they're getting ready to go on stage and dance, and she can't see. And then she says, pull up your pants, we got to go. And then he does it again in her face. And then the curtain goes up.
Must be nice to be young and
Virile.
be able to fire off that far.
Well, it's not
twice.
about speed. It's not about speed.
Apparently it was.
Well, in that case, but yeah. So the curtain goes up. He has his pants around his ankles because he hasn't been able to get them up. And she's
on her knees.
She's on her knees and she has semen all over her face. And that's how we start doing it. So her mom and her grandma are horrified. They want to get her away from the influence of being an American teenager and takes her and the family, the mom, the grandma, and the girl back to India. And she's there for 15 years and then says, okay, I want to go back home. So she goes back home and her mom goes with her. And Maya, our young girl now is, 15 years older, and she wants to develop an app. So she goes around trying to find funding. She can't find funding. And the guy who rejects her basically says, you don't have kids, you don't know anything about teens. And she has this app idea to protect and shield teens from things that are on the internet.
In fairness, it really was a terrible idea for her. Like you
Yeah, she didn't know her audience, and that is how she ended up in a school, is because her friend said, well, you need to study your audience, your target audience. You don't spend time with kids. Why don't you go spend time with kids? And she finds a job as a substitute teacher, thinking that she's going to teach computer science because she's an engineer. She's an app developer. She has that skill set. And they said, well, we don't need someone to do that. We need someone to teach sex ed. And this is where you get the Macaulay Culkin Home Alone kind of.
And that was weird because she's a substitute teacher. Mm-hmm. That means that class had an actual teacher. And she came in. Like, I've seen long-term substitutes when things happen, like substitutes that can be there for, months sometimes. But
yeah, sometimes
this was just kind of weird. There's there was no presence of other teacher. It was just,
they really should have made a joke about the regular teacher being knocked up or something, like an unwed mother or something.
Yeah,
that is a missed opportunity.
That actually would have been funny. But that was I don't know too many substitutes that it goes like that. But
so I want to get through this quickly here. So she's has to teach a sex ed class, but she's never had sex. So she kind of doesn't know what to talk about. And she winds up just deviating from what the state-approved curriculum is to just kind of talk to these kids about things that no one talked to her about when she was a kid.
I don't believe most states' curriculum involves the phrase reverse cowgirl.
Yeah, she kind of went off the rails in regards to teaching them everything about sex and saying, go home and explore your body, and then teaching them sexual positions. So she went really, really, really off the rails. And in the meantime, there's a teacher at school that she's interested in, she's flirting with, and, she doesn't really know to go. So let's just dive in, because there was so much that happened in this hour and 32 minutes. There was so much.
But I want to give you what would you do if you're the writer of this movie?
Yes, please. Okay.
Would you, in fairly close proximity to each other in the script, multiple times use both the phrases pedophile and commander-in-chief?
Okay.
Multiple times.
Yeah, they were talking about sexual positions and also other stuff.
Though that said, I have never heard of commander-in-chief.
Yeah, kind of initially I thought commander style, Handmaid's Tale, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're just saying basically it's like
missionary. I think.
Or the woman in charge. Like it's a series of positions where the woman is in charge.
Okay.
That's the sex ed I was getting from it. I think I learned some things here.
Okay. That's a plus. So let's get into some what would you do here with what we have so far. So you have this experience that happens to you when you're 13 years old, and she is whisked away to another country because she has been put in a shame spiral by herself, by her mom, by her grandma.
By her culture.
And she this has affected her for the next 15 years, so much so that she's 28 and she still hasn't slept with anybody. Him, on the other hand, the guy was like, yeah, no, it helped me get a girlfriend. And as soon as you left, I got a girlfriend. And that very different story for boys and girls, it's like if you're in school, high school, and you a boy and a girl sleep together, and the guy is the hero who got some, and the girl is the skank who gives it up to anybody.
Wait, you don't think she could have gotten a boyfriend from that? like she just literally showed the whole school that she's willing to get down on her knees.
Yeah, but
there are a few guys who are like, I'll help you out with that.
Yeah, but do you really want to be known as that? So,
no, I mean,
yeah,
but still,
if you're a girl. So anyway, what would you do if you were either of those characters in that situation when the curtain went up?
No, I would not be in that situation. Like,
well, okay, but that's what we do here. What would you do if you were in the character shoes?
It does remind me though of in my senior musical in high school.
Yeah,
this one girl, Anne Ferry. She was wearing this rather complicated dress, and she was having fun going around to the guys, and she'd stand right in front of them and whip the dress up over her head.
I'm sorry, how old is this girl?
17.
Oh, okay. As a girl, we do that a lot when we're like 5 because it's fun.
But because it's shocking for the guys, but this complicated dress had another layer underneath of it. So the guys are thinking that Anne, who's honestly a rather attractive girl, is flashing them, and when indeed she is not flashing them. She's just screwing with them until we got to Zuriel. Apparently she screwed up with Zuriel and actually grabbed both parts of it. And
with Zuriel? What are you talking about?
His name is Zuriel.
Oh, a guy. Okay.
Another guy. Where she pulled them both up, realized what happened, and it went down really fast. It was actually really funny to watch, but I did not have the right angle.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's a backstage performance, getting nude-ish. Like,
okay, what would you do?
Well, I never hold my dick out, and I never would.
Okay, so if some girl, you're getting ready to go on stage with her and basically does show me your boobs and I'll show you my penis. You're not playing that game?
No.
I would not play that game either in high school.
No.
Heck no.
I mean, if you
so
want
many reasons.
Afterwards, if you want to, sure, but not before.
All I kept thinking is that the act before them was going to end early and the curtain would go up. And actually, they would have been lucky to just have been naked in that moment. But since the curtain didn't go up early, they got the kneeling down and the semen on her face.
All the suggestive
all
stuff.
The stuff, yeah. So Maya needs to know her target audience, teenagers, and she's not around teenagers, so she goes to teach at a school. What would you do if you were in that situation where you had an idea, like for an app, and you realized that it would be like, hey, I'm Scott, I'm developing an app for postpartum women. You don't know crap about that. So how would you learn about your audience, or what would you do in that situation?
Well, as you may know, I am developing an app, which hopefully will be out by the time this episode hits. If it's not, I'm going to be crying. But it is actually about podcasting. And the truth is outside of this, like me doing it, I actually don't know that much about podcasting because I always joke that I'm a creator of content, not a consumer of it.
Yeah, and I love me some podcasts.
And so the truth is I don't know or didn't know a whole lot about other podcasts and why people listen to them and the things I could use to build into the app.
You're literally telling our listeners.
What?
I don't know why people listen to podcasts. You're listening to our podcast right now.
I know why you listen to mine, but there's a bajillion podcasts out there. Like my program is supposed to be able to hit any audience. So like you need to know more, not just about the audience, but the podcasters themselves. And I don't have a lot of podcaster friends. So
I do.
I had to do research and learn a little bit. And did I learn a lot? Not really. I should.
I'm Amber. I'm Scott's research.
I should have learned more. But no, it is. But you have to be something that's at least somewhat adjacent. Like you can't be a guy doing postpartum depression. Like that's just.
There are guys more than I would expect who actually teach about menopause. I would never hire a guy to teach me about menopause.
Why? I mean, that seems like the worst career choice possible.
But you also have men who are gynecologists,
Well, okay,
and they don't have those parts. So, and I'm not signing up for them either. But
Listen, guy doctors, I mean, huge paychecks, want to stare at vaginas all day. Though I've heard from people who are gynos that like everything about that is ruined for them. Like their wives probably not very happy at all. Because it just stops turning them on 100%. It sounded good in college, but now not so much. But like guys teaching about menopause, like you're probably not a doctor, and it's so unique to a woman. I mean, ish. Guys go through some of the same things, but it's just
they go through menopause.
Yeah, but it's on
Menopause.
such a deflated scale.
Oh yeah.
Compared like guys quote unquote get their period, but we don't go through the physical, all the stuff. It's just some emotional, and even the emotional is like way deflated compared to what y'all have to go through. So
Yeah, menopause is basically buying a sports car and then dating a girl your daughter's age.
that's a midlife crisis.
Menopause.
Is that what they really call it? Menopause?
I'm calling it menopause.
Okay. I want to
Trademark.
vomit at that term.
Copyrighted.
But if you made it up, then
I'm sure. I
have
heard
you
that
registered
somewhere.
menopause.com yet?
I just did right now.
Okay.
It's mine. So
I bet it's registered.
it's mine. It's mine now. It's called Get Menopause or Stop Menopause. So we see Maya also being coached by the girl that was her friend before she left America and was ushered off to India. And her friend, Jess, wants to give her the teenage years she never had because she was in India and she was basically, raised to be very repressed and not enjoy things. And so she gives her a high school bucket list to TP the principal's house, to get stoned and go home and fool her mom, to stay out too late, all the things you do in high school and get away with. And the character Jess was wildly inappropriate and very amusing. And it was kind of funny that she was dating someone who we only saw in pictures mostly, but their relationship was just going like one day it's like we're doing it twice a day, 3 days later it's like we're exclusive, 4 days later, we have a podcast together, 7 days later, we're Facebook and Instagram official, and like the acceleration of that relationship that Jess had with her girl,
I mean,
was so crazy fast. And then you have Maya over here that's like, I can't do anything.
Well, the joke, I mean, listen, I didn't make up this joke. I'm merely repeating it. I'm not even saying it's true, but it is one I have heard. It's like, what does a lesbian bring to a second date?
Well, it's the same thing you bring.
A U-Haul.
Yeah, that's what
I
you
didn't
do.
bring a U-Haul. By the way, menopause actually not only is a site that's existed since 1997, it appears to be fairly well built out.
Oh,
and
okay.
is there to cater to men 50 and up. So
Okay,
maybe
so-
next year. Next year I can go to menopause.
Okay, so I can sue him for stealing my
Shout
idea.
out menopause.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he clearly stole my idea. How many decades ago? I'll stick the lawyer on him later.
28 years ago, he stole my idea that I
hate
had
that.
today.
Yeah. No, he had a time machine and then he heard this podcast and he went back in time and registered it.
If you're gonna do
That
if you're gonna
SOB.
do that, just get a Gray Sports Almanac and take it from there.
What's that?
That's a thing that you get that has all the sports results, and then you can bet and own everything in the future.
Oh, okay.
Especially if your name is Biff.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Shout out Back to the Future.
Yes, yes. So we also see Maya struggling with this teacher at school who is very pompous and uptight and makes her feel incredibly unwelcome. What would you do if you had a new job and you're trying to find your way and there's just someone who makes you feel like you don't belong there and you are not wanted there?
I'm, depending on the situation, I'm either just straight telling her off or straight ignoring her. Like, and it's probably the latter. I'm probably just going to Casper her. Like, if she's talking to me, as soon as she shows me who she is, I'm literally just not there. Like, she could be nothing. And that's one, they'll hate that, but two, like you can't get in trouble if you do nothing, and that is the thing. You can get in trouble, and by the way, fuck her. Substitutes can go in the teacher's lounge.
Yeah, Barbara
Bitch.
was our resident mean girl teacher, and she definitely made Maya feel incredibly unwelcome. Seriously, I wasn't even lying when I was joking that there was almost 3,000 what would you do's here.
Well, and there's a lot of things in here which are true. Like I've heard of plenty of people who were quote unquote virgins who.
Okay, context. I know where you're going.
Their front hole was a virgin. Their back hole, not so much.
Yeah, so Maya, in teaching the sex ed class, it's supposed to also be a class on abstinence. So you want to teach them stuff, but you basically want to say, don't do it. And one of the students in class, who is very pious, very religious, very prim and proper, ultimately we find out that she's gone on the bum end and not just on the...
I have actually known people who, for religious sake, took it in the butt so that they could remain a technical virgin.
I'm sure Jesus is very proud of that.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think Jesus is gonna, like, we're not words lawyering that one. Like if that's a problem, it's a problem regardless of the whole. But it's not a problem.
Toward the end of the film, we have Maya, who is ultimately suspended because she is sharing way too much with her students. And a student goes home and basically masturbates, and then her mom finds her, and her mom is basically in line with the uptight teacher, Barbara.
But I'm going to say, for everything that she did, Maya did, I was on board with the exception of the whole, your job is to go home and explore your body. You can't do that.
As a teacher, like, you shouldn't say things like you should be comfortable with your body and...
Yeah, you can say that,
but advocating something like that is above and beyond what a teacher should be doing.
Yeah, no, I've got to draw the line. Everything else, fine, great. I didn't see anything else that I thought was necessarily a problem.
Well, I don't know. I thought about teaching sexual positions to a bunch of high schoolers. I thought that was very inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean, to a point, but the truth is we don't learn this.
Well, we don't, but I don't think high school is a place to learn about all the sexual positions you can use.
But here's the thing. Most people, from what I could tell, most people in high school, and most being probably slightly over 50%, are sexually active in high school. Like, I lost my virginity at 19, and I felt like I was a super late bloomer on that. So...
Also, a lot of people say things that aren't really true. And a lot of people assume things that aren't really true. But, I certainly don't know about high school students today and what they do and don't do. But, I mean, I don't think a school setting is the place to teach someone how to have better sex. I think you teach them about the body and the body's parts and your partner's parts and how, what they all do and stuff like that. I mean, that's under the umbrella of science and anatomy and things like that. But saying...
But, I mean, it wasn't anatomy. It was sex ed. It was education about sex.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that includes a whole bunch of slides about sexual positions, but...
I mean, it's a part of a curriculum. It's not the whole thing.
It was a part of her made-up curriculum, and that's ultimately what she got in trouble for.
Yeah, and what substitute teacher's writing curriculum? I know a lot of teachers. Let me tell you, substitute teachers don't write curriculum. Well, they get paid a lot less because they don't have to do crap like that.
Well, and that was exactly the point, is Maya was given this state-written curriculum that basically said... Don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex. And when Barbara had to step in to cover class once, she basically showed a woman giving birth and then had the video go back and forth with baby goes in, baby comes out, baby goes in, baby comes out. And everyone was like, ow, ooh, that's gross. And so that's how they're teaching abstinence. And Maya saw an opportunity to not only help these kids, but help them grow up in a way that they weren't her, where they didn't have these hangups and this unfamiliarity because she didn't know how to do even basic things like how to insert a tampon.
Well, let me tell you, the guy who went to high school in West Texas knows about them using sex ed as a way to traumatize you and try to keep you from having sex. Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, I don't know about course. We didn't have sex ed in my school.
It wasn't as bad as, it wasn't an actual course, but we had had a health course. And within health, I think there was it was like a week or 2 weeks on sex ed.
The joke is that every high school has that, and it's taught by the dorky sports coach, the basketball coach or the football coach or something like that, and he's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah. Also, this movie was unrealistic. What computer science teacher is also doing soccer? That's just not happening.
Yeah, the guy she ultimately has a crush on, turns out, has the job that she was hoping to get in the school, which was teaching computer science. And it turns out outside of class, he is also the soccer coach.
Yeah. I want to make a point here that was big in the movie that we've not come across here. She's 30 and she's a virgin.
Oh, isn't it 13 and 15? Isn't she 28?
Well, she moved back after 15 years. I think she'd been back a little while. She said she was... Okay, the thing
she just got back. The movie started when they got on the plane and she
the
just
thing
got
that I read said a 30-year-old. I just know what I read. Even still, you hit a certain point in virginity that it becomes a liability. A legitimate liability. In my mid-30s, I met this one girl. And I liked her. We talked. It was great. There was a mild amount of physicality, a little bit. And I learned that she was a virgin at 35. Let me tell you.
Run.
And this is not even a gender thing. It's not run.
It's that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, you lose your virginity 18, 19, whatever. That's what kids do.
You can't one night stand that girl.
Yeah, at 35, you're making a reasonable commitment before you even stick it in. If you're sticking it in that situation, so that's and the older you get, the harder it gets because people, unless you literally go up and say, "Listen, I don't care. I just need to get this over with so that I can be normal." But if you're 35 and a virgin, you're probably not doing that because life's not a movie.
Life is not a movie.
You got there for a reason.
Yeah, no, that's a good point because, when you do get older, it is more complicated because in one of the scenes she says, "I'm so happy you're going to be my first," and it's the guy that, from when she was younger that she accidentally crosses paths with on an Uber ride. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're my first." And he was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh, my," and she covered from that. But yeah, it's a lot of responsibility for the person taking that V card to have to stick around, to have to show this person what sex is because it's their first introduction to it. And yeah, that is a commitment and a responsibility I would not want.
By the way, I do want to mention the fact that her magic bullet.
Oh,
yeah,
magic bullet.
Yeah, the vibrator that was used to drink milk. And man, when she finally hit there, she just went to town on herself. But I find it funny because there legitimately is a sex toy called a magic bullet, which is
her friend Jess.
It's like a small vibrator. I think it's designed to go on the clit. It's actually really small.
Yeah, you
but that's
can
why it's
wear
called a
it
magic
during
bullet,
meetings
not
at work and while you're driving, and yeah, you just wear it all the time. There's also things where someone can activate something for you, so you just have that in, and then all of a sudden it's like, "I'm thinking of you."
I've never been involved in one of those, though I have heard that it can lead to some very uncomfortable situations for the person who is agreeing to it.
Yeah, so her friend, Maya's friend Jess, says you need to at least know what an orgasm is because not only has she not had sex, she hasn't done any self-exploration, so she's never had an orgasm. So her friend Jess gets her this gold metallic-y looking vibrator, which she successfully uses by thinking sexy thoughts like Beyonce's next album dropping secretly and a guy whispering it in her ear, which I love.
You're always right.
You're always right. Yeah, that'll turn on any girl. So her mom accidentally finds this gold vibrator, doesn't know what it is, and in a panic, Maya says, "Oh, I used it to make a smoothie. It's a blender. It makes a smoothie." And then for the rest of the film, her mom and her mom's friend are using her vibrator to make beverages.
I mean,
oh no!
it's the lowbrow. It's funny. I don't know if they needed to keep hitting the point.
You know, and it's funny because I don't like lowbrow humor. Like, I think
I like Lily's thing. She's hilarious. As a comedian, she's hilarious.
And I actually wasn't familiar with her, but it was just, I guess it was in context, and some things were just so ridiculous, you just kind of had to roll with it. And I just thought it was a fun movie.
I mean, yeah, it was fun.
And we're 30 minutes in, and we have not even scratched the surface of all the things that happened in this film. So final thoughts?
We're allowed to go as long as we want. Do you have something else you want to cover?
Again, there's just so much. It was a fun film. Final thoughts on Doing it.
Yeah. Wow. You see, that's the thing. I don't know what my final thoughts are, but yeah, like learn sex in high school somehow, one way or the other. I guess I don't know.
Learn sex as an adult. We know so little about our bodies. It's not even funny. We don't know what things are called. We don't know what they do, and we're not. Even beyond sexual organs, we don't do even an adequate job of understanding our anatomy.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. I mean, it depends a little bit on where you are. Like I said, for me, my more formative years were either South Georgia or West Texas, so that was not exactly the biggest subject. But if you're saying like California, where you're a little more progressive, you're more likely. But even still,
and it's not an age thing
because it's uncomfortable. Like, it's an uncomfortable conversation to have with a child.
Well, and
like, I remember my parents just basically handed me a book that had a fat dude who was naked and a fat chick who was naked.
Okay.
And afterwards I got any questions?
Did your dad do that?
It's because I came home one day and asked what a blowjob was because I heard the term at school and I didn't know. And then out came the book. I guess maybe they were holding on. Like, they didn't have to go buy it, it seemed. Like they had it.
Was it a picture book or was there reading?
Yeah, picture book. Yeah.
Did it answer your question?
I mean, maybe.
Huh.
I mean, I think it just led me to know that, oh, yeah, okay, there's a whole freaking world here that I am clueless about.
And that really goes to, if you're a parent, this could apply to so many topics, but obviously we're talking about sex right now, but do your best not to give your kids hang-ups about stuff, make them scared about stuff, or make subjects taboo that they don't feel safe talking about them. I remember when my mom opened up that discussion, and it's uncomfortable. It's a talk that, no kid likes to have, but I knew I could ask her things if I wanted to. And if you are uncomfortable with things, you had sex to have the child you're talking to. So let's just get real here. You got funky here at some point to have the grown child you're having the sex talk with. Is try not to create hang-ups and shame and anything pertaining to topics like this, because we all hang on to those things and we take them to adulthood, and then there's things that 40-year-old Susie then has to take to her therapist.
Like, here's the thing. So I may have this stat slightly wrong, but our bodies are built to have sex and need to. Like, again, I might have some of these stats wrong.
Then maybe don't use them.
But something like,
oh, don't make up stats. You don't know.
No, I know. It was. Guys have, like, I can't remember if it was prostate or testicular. Testicular makes more sense. Have, like, guys who have sex or ejaculate under 21 times a month. Now, I don't know why it was 21.
I think you saw this probably on the menopause site.
But no, you're, like, more likely to get
this
cancer
is like
because
a stat that a guy made up to get laid more.
Oh, I mean, it makes. I mean,
I question this statistic.
It legitimately makes sense.
You have to.
Like, we're built to do this.
Ejaculate 3 weeks out of every 4 weeks, you're going to get cancer.
Like, do you think
sex me, honey?
I mean, do you think biology gave a crap about shame when we were built?
I mean, obviously, the human bodies were built for procreation.
We pee, we poop, we fuck.
I also like some chocolate cake in there. Not as part of the process, though.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.